Hello, I'm Lydia Jordan, the CEO and founder of Lycon Cosmetics. I have been manufacturing the Lycon brand of depilatory waxes and skincare products since 1978. Lycon is exported to over 75 countries and is recognized as the creme de la creme of depilatory waxes and reported to be the best in the world. Eyebrows are probably a more important feature of the face than ever before, and it is so important as professionals that we do the right shape for the client, and you have to really work with what the client has there and how much hair you will remove. So it's always different for different people, and we'll be showing you a few different ones so that you can actually get an idea that no two eyebrows are the same. So first of all, we have to decide how much hair we'll remove and what to do. So basically we measure from the corner of the nose to the corner of the eye here, and this is about where this particular client's eyebrow on the inner side should end. Then the side, we go from the corner of the nose again and to the corner of the eye, and it should end down here, but she doesn't have too many hairs there. The other thing is we need to figure out where the arch should be. So we go from the corner of the nose across the iris, and the arch should be there. Now, I personally don't believe we should be changing the shape of the eyebrow too much, and so often we really can't. We have to work with what we have and keep them as natural as possible. And so many times, well, the two eyebrows are not identical. We have to decide how we want them to look and try to match them up as much as possible. So the sort of products we need for eyebrow waxing, in my opinion, is always hot wax. If you're using strip wax for eyebrows, you have to make sure it's applied extremely thinly. Now, this doesn't mean that Lycon strip waxes cannot be used on eyebrows or the face. They can, but I just find it a lot more gentle and a lot more effective to use hot wax on the face and the eyebrows. Because with strip wax, if you don't apply the strip wax thin enough, when you put the strip on top, you can actually spread. If there's a little bit too much strip wax, you can spread the wax and you can catch eyebrows that you don't want to remove. While you wax with hot wax, it is completely visible what you're doing. You can see where the wax is going and you can really control it. A very good way to practice eyebrow waxing is really on the back of your hand. You can draw an eyebrow with a pen, and you can practice on the back of your hand the application and the removal so that you're not too nervous when you actually work on a client and make a mistake. Make sure the client is nice and still, because if they move, you will very easily put wax where you shouldn't, and that's going to mess everything up. So which wax do we use for facial waxing and eyebrow waxing? You can use any of the Lycon hot waxes, but the preferred ones are the traditional hot waxes, such as we've got the Rosette here, we've got the Lycojet Desert Rose, there's also the Lycojet Lavender, but more recently we developed a specific eyebrow wax called the Lycojet Eyebrow Wax. And that one contains some extra soothing ingredients in it, like calendula, which is a very, very old-fashioned ingredient, but it's really fantastic to calm the skin down and protect the skin from any smarting. The eyebrows can actually hurt a little bit. But still people do say how eyebrow waxing with Lycon doesn't hurt. Okay, so first of all, as with anything, to do any waxing, we clean the skin with Lycotane Skin Cleanser. So that will remove any cream residue, makeup, that's okay. Then we need to apply some pre-waxing oil. Now, I usually put a bit of pre-waxing oil, just a couple of drops on the back of my hand. Over the glove is fine, and I spread it around so that I don't drop it on the client. And then I apply the pre-waxing oil from my hand onto the skin, so I don't have to go back to the bottle all the time to get more oil, because so little goes a long way, and that will be ready for waxing. Now, to apply the wax, you can use different sticks. I know a lot of people use this kind of stick. It's like a coffee stirrer. which is fine, it's perfectly fine. I personally like the cuticle sticks, like a manicure stick, because it's got a lovely pointed and slanted end that you can get into the shape of the eyebrows and create a really good shape. That's my preferred one. So I'm going to use the eyebrow Lycon jet, and you need about a peanut size wax on your stick. Not too much, because you don't want to dribble and drop it on the eyelashes or have too much and then push it onto the eyebrows. Now the first application is going to be applied with the hair growth. That is the best way to actually get the shape of the eyebrow. We go with the hair growth on one side, you can go with the hair growth on the other side, and then you can remove them. The same thing on the top. You apply the hard wax or the hot wax with the hair growth as well. Okay, in the center you can go up and down, it really doesn't matter too much. About a peanut size. Okay. So we start from here and we spread the wax over, and you can support the skin, and you can gently push the wax up closer and closer to the eyebrow shape you want to achieve. That's that. Then the other side. With a bit of pressure. Application with Lycon hot waxes is always best with a bit of pressure. Now that is already ready, so we'll flick it off and we pull, and always rub straight after the wax is removed. Okay, and then we're going to go over the eyebrow, and we also will apply the wax with the hair growth. You've got enough time to actually play with the wax and move it around. It doesn't set super quickly. Now, this is really something that's so important to always know and remember about Lycon wax. It is quite runny, but it's not hot. And that's why you've got time to play with it. Because a lot of waxes, if they are hot, you have to cool them down, so they're going to be too thick, and when you apply them, you don't have enough time to work with them. But that doesn't happen with Lycon hot waxes. Then we remove them again against the hair growth. Okay. If you notice the wax broke there, and I just stuck the same patch on top of it, and that picks it up all together. So a bit more oil again. The pre-waxing oil is a pre-soother. Stops the wax from sticking to the skin, makes waxing very, very comfortable. Right, now this time, the second time, apply the wax against the hair growth. If someone has really fluffy, fine hair, applying the wax against the hair growth is going to pick up all the fluffy hairs, and as you can see, the wax is quite easy and smooth to apply. If you need to take a bit more, if you're running out, that's fine, which I ran out a little bit in the corner here, so you can just take a little bit and apply it there, and you can actually even work backwards to get it closer to the shape of the eyebrow. On the other side, the same. we're going to apply the wax against the hair growth. If you want to get any closer, then you can go back with the hair growth to get closer. So we'll go here and we'll go backwards to scrape the short hairs up into the wax. Okay. Now the same thing over the eyebrows. We're going to this time apply the wax against the hair growth. So we're going from the outside in. Now you don't have to apply a second lot or a third lot, but you will be surprised how many hairs there are. And if you don't apply the wax for a second time, then you will not remove all the fine hair and the waxing will not last as long. So this is why you need to reapply Lycon hot waxes a few times over the same area, you know, because there are going to be hairs you won't be able to see. But when you actually remove the strips, you will actually see there's an amazing amount of hair there that a lot of people would ignore and they don't finish the waxing properly. Now for the center, we need a little bit of extra wax for that. The hairs here are growing upwards, here they can be growing downwards, so you can go both ways. This time I pull down. Okay, so to finish we're going to cleanse with Lycotane. And then we can apply a little bit of the Ingrown-X-IT just to close the follicles. Okay, and then we apply the Tea Tree Soothe, just a tiny little bit. A little bit goes a long way, so that's going to have the antibacterial protection with the tea tree, and that is done. Right, so now I'm going to move on to the lip, and we have to cleanse again. So start the process again on the lip, and we can also do the face. Okay, so the pre-waxing oil is on now. So I'm actually going to try a little bit of waxing with the Rosette. Rosette has titanium dioxide, rose and chamomile. It's extremely gentle and it's also very powerful. I'm going to turn the spatula over, not re-dipping. And scraping to get the hair up into the wax. As you'll notice, I've also got the wax along the lip line, not just on the lip line, actually it's over the lip, because there's going to be a lot of hair right along the lip line and we need to remove that. Because if you're staying away from the lip, you're not going to remove that hair and in the sun it'll look like a little fine little trail of hair that's left behind. So there we go. Support and always press straight after. The lip does hurt a little bit. You really can't get away from that. We can go, we'll apply the rosette again, and this time we're going to apply it against the hair growth. Scrape up nicely the other side of the spatula. Scrape, and you can go right across the front of the lip, and you can remove all of that together. While we wait for that to set, we can actually start working on the face. So not too big patches. Okay, now the lip, pull one side, then the other side, and just support a little closer and pull the center part off. Okay. The next one I'm going to use is the Lycon Dream. So this is the hybrid hot wax. It's a very, very lovely wax to use for novices, people who haven't done waxing before. The Lycon Dream is amazing. It's extremely soft. It's very efficient, so pliable. All the fine hairs are coming out. It is really, it's like bubble gum virtually. Bit of oil. It's a good thing to get used to how much wax you need on the spatula. So you kind of decide how big is the patch going to be and get used to taking just enough wax to do that patch, because otherwise you'll end up with wax you don't know what to do. You keep on thickening it or putting it where it shouldn't go. So, okay. You can stick two patches together. It helps it set quicker and it gives you a lifting edge. Okay, now the other one that's very important for face waxing is the Lycon Jet Lavender or the Lycon Jet Desert Rose. This one here is the Desert Rose. He's a superhero, and you know, sometimes some ladies and men, they will have really, really coarse hair, and we need something stronger. So the Lycon Jet is the strongest. So no matter which wax you've got in the salon, you'll never be stuck with Lycon hot waxes. You don't have to have them all, you can choose one. And sometimes it's not a bad idea to even change and try something else. You're more than likely going to develop your own preferences and what you feel works best for you. I can personally do anything with any of them. There's a little bit of pinkness, but I wouldn't call this very red at all. And there's a huge difference in how the skin reacts to different waxes, And with Lycon wax, most people say it doesn't hurt, my skin is not red, and my waxing's lasting longer, and that's what it's all about. Now the next thing I will do is a nose wax. First of all, we'll cleanse the nose with Lycon Skin Cleanser. So, we don't apply the wax too deeply because we do need hair in the nose. It traps dust and pollution, so we don't go too deep, otherwise we won't have any hair at all, and that is not the best thing. Now right here I've just applied a little bit of the pre-waxing oil. I just turned, you can use a cotton tip. I actually prefer to use a bit of cotton. Cotton tips seem to tickle a lot, and this is a bit more solid, and you make sure that you apply the pre-waxing oil in the nostrils, and particularly in the corner right here of the nose, right there. Now, some people have a lot of hair in the corner, and if there's no oil there, it actually can damage the skin and pull on the skin. So the wax prevents the wax from sticking to the skin, so that part is extremely important to have. So I'm going to use the eyebrow Lycojet. That one's got the calendula and chamomile, and this is about how much wax you need for each nostril. So when you apply it, make sure that you apply it nice and firmly so that you're really sticking the wax against the skin. And then you can leave the stick in there and apply on the other side. Okay. The client has to breathe through their mouth. You don't want them to pass out on you. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this spatulas at the right angle to pull, which is really in line with the nose. Okay, now this area is quite hot, and you know when you're breathing, you've got hot kind of air circulating in your nose. So if they can breathe through their mouth is better, because that actually allows the wax to also set quicker. Because if they're breathing through one nostril, they're bringing warm air to the nose and the wax doesn't set so quickly. So this is already done. To remove it, we have to support the nose. We don't just pull. So we don't ever hold over the wax, because that's going to stop the wax from coming away, and that'll hurt. So above where the wax is, and we don't pull the nose up like this, we actually support the nose downwards. So nice and strong. Don't be flimsy, because if you're pulling, pull it. Don't kind of pull and let it go. That is kind of very unnerving for the client, so hold and pull. It probably looks like it was traumatic, but our model will tell us in a minute. How does it feel? It's a bit of a surprise. It's kind of like, is it off? What else is going to happen? But it's such a good feeling when you have it done. And I encourage you to really encourage your clients to actually have a nose wax, because it makes you feel so much cleaner. You can definitely breathe better, and you can't see all those hairs. You might have a lovely hairstyle, great makeup on, and there's all these little hairs kind of poking out of the nose. Now, to finish, after all the face waxing, we cleanse the skin with Lycon Skin Cleanser. You can use the Ingrown-X-IT in a spray, you can apply the cream, or you can use the wipes. They're very convenient. Just take one wipe. There we go. And we're going to just wipe all over. And then we apply some tea tree soothing cream. Okay. Another way to do the nose wax, and you can do it sitting up in a chair, and in fact it feels a lot better. So you would do it in this position and you do exactly the same process. Hold the nose like that, pull the sticks out, and that is another way. Can be done in a hairdressing salon, at the, in a chair while they're having their hair cut. Happy Lycon waxing!